Given the Indians' recent track record involving trades, it probably doesn't come as a surprise that they traded Mike Clevinger yesterday. Bradford Doolittle of ESPN looked at the Indians' trade and termed them as one of the losers of the MLB trade deadline. They said dealing Clevinger was not the end of the world, and the Indians still have plenty of starting pitching. I'll also be watching to see what they do with Quantrill. Still, does this club have some kind of pathological aversion to everyday outfielders? You look at the trade, aside from the three major leaguers that the Indians got, they got three minor leaguers from the Padres system, number 7 in their farm system, number 9 ranked, and number 11 ranked. So, Les, Bud, my question is to you is this: did they get enough for the Mike Clevinger trade?
Well, it looks like a wash to me because it didn't help them win this division this year, and it didn't. I don't believe it's designed to help them in the future. I don't know. I just think don't. I think they did they did it for other reasons than winning baseball games. But what do you think?
Well, let me ask you a question. Why do you say it wasn't designed to help them win in the future? What is it about this trade that makes you think that?
7, 9, and 11.
I mean, those are not good prospects. You think they should have been higher for Mike Clevinger?
Well, I will say that the San Diego Padres are very well thought of as far as their minor league system is concerned. So a number 7 on that team might be different from number 7s on other teams. I think when I know there's, I mean, I don't know how Larry Dolan or Paul Dolan rather feels about asterisks and winning and all that stuff. Maybe he doesn't want any part of winning it because of that, and wants to wait until he can, win it the regular way. But I don't think he did anything to help or hurt whatever his plans were for this year.
Well, I mean, I think that they still want to win, but I just don't think they're going to chase it. I mean, I don't. To me, I don't know what deal they could have made that would have made people happy. Was Mike Clevinger going to bring back the number 1 or number 2 prospect in somebody's organization?
No, probably not. Probably not. That's a good question. What are the? I heard a lot of people on radio the last 2 days talking about the Indians and saying that, well, for economic reasons, they want to contend and be in the hunt and all that, but they don't really care if they win or lose. Now, I don't believe that for 1 second. I think the competitive nature of guys who are rich enough to own baseball or any kind of sports franchises want to win the game. They don't want to show up as a second-place finisher or a participant at the league meetings. But did they put themselves in any better condition to win by yesterday's dealings as opposed to improving themselves or losing points in this thing?
I don't think they made themselves a more credible winner in 2020 by yesterday's deal.
They do.
I'll agree with that part. I'll also say that if a month from now Orlando Mercado is showing some signs of being the guy that we thought he was coming into this season, maybe the glaring hole in the outfield won't be as maybe that hole in the outfield won't be as glaring. And Les, you hit on it in the beginning of this thing. I mean, maybe they just felt after the situation that occurred this year in Chicago with Clevinger, lying about being out and those kinds of things. Maybe they felt that this was the best way to clear the.
I clearly think that's what happened here.
The anger in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I clearly believe that's what happened, and they couldn't have. I mean, there's no secret to the fact that the two have departed ways here. One was in Eastlake at the time. There's no secret to why the timing of that was done. I just think that Terry Francona was in on that decision. All of the front office people, Antonetti, Chernoff, the whole thing, they seemed all to be behind it, and they let it play out a little bit before they determine what they're going to do. And then I think they all came to the same conclusion that the two can't coexist. They can coexist with each other, but not with the rest of the team.
Yeah, I think that was probably a factor. But I believe that the Indians usually work from a long range perspective, and they probably saw those arbitration numbers on Clevinger going to a place that they didn't want to deal with it, especially given the fact that he has been injured over the next couple years. Did this Chicago situation maybe propel them to make a deal this year? Maybe it did. But if they were really throwing the towel in on the season, then I think we probably would have seen them dangle Lindor out there and just tear it all down. But I don't know. I mean, listen, maybe the question for people tuning in is, do you think the Indians will win the division now, or make the playoffs? And if
I don't think what they did yesterday makes it. I don't think
both of those things are possible, then I don't think this trade hurt them in any way.
No,
sure.
but if it's a break-even thing where there's no answer to that. They didn't appear to make themselves better, nor did it appear they made themselves worse. They just had an opportunity, I believe, to make something happen, and they chose not to do it. Now, on the other hand, so many teams are going to be eligible here or close, still in the hunt. I imagine you're going to have a heck of a sprint down the stretch last week or 10 days of the season here, which coming up soon, by the way. And I think a lot of teams think they can still win it. I mean, think about that. You go down the stretch and you've got, 20, 22 games left, and you just know that out of that 20 games left in the season, if you can just win, 16 of them, 14 of them, if you can do that, you can do quite well and probably win your division. And by the way, the division, you want to win the division. You want your games at home, even though your fans won't be there.